I'm glad you finally decided I'm glad you finally decided to join in there.
I wasn't sure what you wanted from me.
That was like 5 minutes straight of me going time. So
good thing we cut it down a little bit to about 20 seconds.
I'm impressed I could breathe for that long.
Yeah, it's very impressive. You should do like Olympic swimming or something as a Olympic swimming. You should do it. Yeah, because you have to like keep your breath held while you swim. Or deep sea diving without gear. That would be fun. If you could hold your breath for 5 minutes.
On today's episode of Ben Isn't an Athlete.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can hold your breath. There are a lot of things you can do if you can hold your breath.
Oh, Ben, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Phone call from mysterious men from
it's all
years
weird,
ago.
But this is totally normal. It's the Rose Garden. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it won't be relevant at all. I'm gonna have some iced tea. But yeah, no, mysterious phone call from the man from 19 years ago. That's his official title.
What characters have we had in the story that are that age thus far? It's just Battler and George that are like...
yeah, George is 22,
I mean, close enough for this stupid shit.
I guess so. Yeah, Battler's... How old's Battler?
He's 18.
Isn't he 18?
Yeah, Jessica and Battler are 18. So I guess
if it's like close to his birthday, which we should know what it is. He told us in EP3 what his birthday was.
It's 0715, because it was the beginning of that code.
I'm impressed that you remember the code. But yeah.
I don't remember the second half.
Nah, me neither. I'm sure it's not important. But yeah.
I'm just gonna pull it off and check.
Could be him, I guess.
What was the other date here? That's the wrong...
I don't know, like it's sorta close to, you know, the 7th month. I mean, we're past it, but still.
No.
Actually,
1129.
We're a whole month past it.
1129, so November 29th, I guess.
Yeah.
If we're assuming that to be a date.
Guess so.
I don't know. I
don't know, who do you think it could be?
The thing is because we've already just had fucking as yet unnamed character that I totally know nothing about dropped onto this game board.
Yeah.
I feel like there is both the room for someone new to be introduced to the story, but also I feel like because we already have one character being dropped in, to keep the game board restricted to the truths that we've been told, it's going to be someone that's already in the game.
Sure. Okay. Who do you think? Who are your suspects?
I feel like because it's Lambda, I feel like it's gonna be Battler.
Okay, sure. Why? Because it's Lambda?
Because Lambda's just trying to fuck with shit.
It's true, she's doing that.
Like, George would be easy because you could say, like, Ava's in on it and they're trying to ruse Natsui into something on account of this plan. I mean, as much as my Jessica would make sense, I think regular Jessica would be a bit of a stretch.
Well, they did say that the voice could be like, you know, a younger person or like an adult with a youngish voice. So
I don't know. I feel like that was just a broadening of the scope. I don't want to read too much into that. Like, especially because all of the adults are far past that point, it seems.
Sure.
The only other, like, remaining candidate of male characters that we have is Canon. Which could work if it's, like, the culprit being like, I'm gonna come up and fucking haunt you, Nazi.
Sure.
But, like, honestly, that would be my first guess if it wasn't Lambda Delta supposedly running this game.
Sure. Okay.
So because it's... So, like, yeah, if it was still Beta running the game, shut up, dog!
Will that pick up, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll find out.
My dog was barking.
Poor Sparky. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know we're recording.
Yeah, but
he doesn't know what a recording
if it was
device
Beta
is.
running the game, I'd say it was, like, Canon.
Sure.
Because that would also explain why Genji actually passed it on rather than being like, fuck you, you dumb shit. But...
Sure. So you think it's maybe Canon, but more likely Battler?
More likely Battler just because it's Lambda.
Sure, okay. I like it. Lambda is a strange person.
Yeah.
Who doesn't exist, of course.
Because I don't think it's going to be another character. I feel like we've already stretched the game board enough with the introduction of blue-haired white dragon.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens.
This Rose Garden really is a masterpiece. It's gotten even more awesome than it was 6 years ago. So lucky to have this as your yard. Are you kidding? For me, it just makes it the longer walk to the harbor, and that's a real pain.
That's a pretty luxurious worry. Ooh! Getting to say hi to the roses every morning must be awesome! You must get laid after saying hi to so many roses. Thanks, Maria.
Thanks, Maria.
She's giving us the best commentary. I wish she was a narrator.
Shame about Angie, though. I hear her stomach gets upset easily, right? It's what happens when you eat Angie burgers.
No, don't eat Angie burgers. I'm a bit sad now.
Apparently, it's probably your intestines that are weak. She's almost always got the runs.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ew. You shouldn't say something like that about a lady.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot nothing comes out about a girl's butt marshmallows, right? I know.
What?
I know that it has 2 butts there.
Just kept going.
But I figured it was more
a girl's
entertaining.
butt marshmallows. Yeah, no, I agree.
Listen, I tailored that sentence to my version of Battler.
Okay, cool. It's your truth. I won't fight you.
That's right. This is my story now.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Lambert. I'm running this board.
It's your special magic. Yeah.
So Angie got sick, and then the marshmallows turned into syrup.
Marshmallow magic. Whoa!
He just got a fucking beat down from his cousins.
I think they both just like kick, punch.
Okay,
like,
that's really way over
the line. George and Jessica slide a knee and a fist. There you go. Right into either side of Battler's gut. Whack, smack, thud. The smack thud was probably the sound made when his knees hit the ground as he fell over. Normally, Battler possessed the good sense you'd expect of an 18-year-old man. However, it seemed that this reunion had brought him back to the mental age he had been 6 years ago. And bit by bit, Jessica and George realized they were also returning to the way that they'd been back then.
Ah, yes. Brutal fighters.
Yeah.
In the Rekenjima pit fighting ring.
Yup. Uh-oh. But all was not okay in the mansion this day. Natsu gazed at this charming chat through an open window in the hall. Madam, Kraus-sama is searching for you.
I'd be interested to see whether that, like, charming was from Natsui's perspective or whether that was like a, we can't translate this shit.
Is this a note left over like, is it charming or is it like hating? We can't tell. Oh my god.
Have you read this? I have.
I had.
Okay, sorry, I was so consumed by my own joke.
My goodness. I'll go in just a bit. It isn't even lunchtime yet and I'm already tired. Just a few moments ago, the sparks had already started flying between them and Ava's group. The others had pounded on Kraus and Natsu over and over to get Kinto out of his study. Apparently they hadn't been fully tricked at last year's family conference after all. There are no problems with father, right? Correct. Leave it to me. Shannon and Cannon are also fully prepared to handle today's arrangements. Kurosawa is a good liar, so I'm not worried about her, but I'm a little concerned about Dr. Najo. I get the feeling he's bad at hiding things. Leave that to me. I intend to support Dr. Najo from nearby as much as possible. It's so reassuring to have you there. It truly does help a lot. Without your strength, we wouldn't be able to succeed. I am honored by your words. Don't worry. The closed room barrier on the study is perfect. As long as the barrier remains unbroken, no one will be able to expose Kinzo's secret. Yes, I understand. Natsui's in the foreground. Still, you heard the conversation in the parlor just now, didn't you? Indeed. It seems that some considerable suspicions were aroused since last year. The terrible toxin has accumulated is being spread all around. It seems that this year's conference really will be crucial. We might need to overcome this year somehow, but there is such a thing as pushing our luck. It's probably best to assume that next year won't be manageable. With this much of the magic-resisting toxin filling up the place, it will probably be difficult to preserve Lord Goldsmith's magic for yet another family conference. Who are you? God damn it.
Bronavay!
Bronavay, what up? Oh, no need to be surprised. This man serves as my head furniture. Greetings, Madame Natsui. My name is Renove. It is a pleasure to meet you. This man's reliable. He's also helping to protect the closed room barrier. Is that so? I am Ashumi Natsui. I thank you for your cooperation. Of course, Madame. I will be aiding you from the magical world. Please rely on me.
In that case, I guess I'll introduce myself next. Hi, Richie. Long time no see.
Ah, Garp! I'm glad to see you're here as well.
Well, I only came to have some fun. If you need an extra hand, let me know. Nice to meet you, madame. This is the first time I've said hello, but I'm always right by anyone's side.
Gallop here is quite the prankster. Remember that headache medicine you dumped on the floor of your room and lost as you were getting dressed? Gallop was the one behind that. Whenever you set something small down somewhere but can't find it later, it's always a good idea to suspect that it's one of her pranks. Long ago, she used to tease me all the time. Is that so? In any event, this is the Ashumia Mansion. As long as you're here, you will obey us. You understand, correct?
So...
Yeah?
just something that popped into my head.
Yeah, what's up?
It would seem that Garp is like the personification of, like, the small slip-ups and contradictions we've had.
Maybe.
Because it's like, but how could they get into the room? It's impossible.
Garp teleports them in.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, that's what she does. She teleports people places.
So, I think that's... I still want to tie Garp to something physical like I have all of them.
What do you think? I believe in you.
Oh god, I don't know.
There's a terrible mystery, but I think that you could take some stabs. But
I'm trying to think like who or what else I could pin it on.
It's a great question.
But I feel like it's also a bit of a tangent that we can save for later.
Yeah, we can save it for later. I have said this line, so... Of course, we understand. Think of me as a Genji of the magical world, and give me orders whenever you wish.
Are they trying to make this easy
Wink.
for people?
Winks aggressively.
And even I know how a guest is supposed to act. I won't let the landlord lose face.
You can count on Rodovir and Garp. However, the magical world and the human world are two different sides of the same coin. I understand. Of course, I will do all I can in the human world. Let's work together and protect Father's secret. Indeed. So what's fun is that Nazi is teaming up with all the magical characters.
I'm completely on board.
It's great.
This happens every time. Looks like we won't get anywhere until the next day. Well, sure, October 4th is like a prep time for me. If you don't feel like doing anything, why don't you just sit around until October 5th? I'll call you after the first 6 die. Of course, that was an incredibly irritating way to put it. The fun would start until the crime occurs. However, waiting for the crimes to start would mean turning a blind eye towards the murders of the first Twilight. In other words, it would be the same as being content with the fact that 6 people would die.
Did you know? They say that in chess, the player who moves first is twice as likely to win.
Although that can change as the tactics of the match progress. Don't they say the second player has a much better chance at a draw? Even I know the phrase, the first to strike wins. So what are you trying to say? This is why you're so incompetent.
Seriously, are you listening, Battler? There do exist puzzles that can be solved even on October 4th. Know which one I mean?
You don't mean... no, but...
What do they mean?
Well, watch and see, Battler the incompetent. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Ah, I already have a guess. What puzzle is there that could be solved?
I mean,
before
there's the
murders?
epitaph.
What? That's insane.
But, like... it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I've consigned myself to the fact that no one will solve it until the detective brings everyone into the final room. It's like, this is how it all happened.
Alright, let's go.
It's not gonna be a battler.
Let's see. See what happens.
I have a general idea of what these witches are talking about. Tried solving it several times myself in the past, but still haven't found anything resembling an answer. On the contrary, I still can't even understand why that puzzle exists. That's right, the reason it exists. Why did Beto prepare a puzzle like this in the first place? We all discussed it together from time to time in past games. However, I've started to avoid thinking about it. Under the assumption there's no point in trying to solve a riddle that can't be solved.
What a dummy.
What a dummy. Clearly, all he needs to do is just get on a boat, go to Taiwan, and he'll be fine.
Sure.
It's the easy way to solve a mystery in the middle of this typhoon.
Sure.
This time I should change my viewpoint. I shouldn't just focus on the surface level stuff, like the truth of the riddle and how to solve it. What's more important is why that riddle was set up in the first place and displayed for us to see. That's what I should be thinking about. The one proposing that riddle is Beatrice. Even if I can't solve it, I should be able to try figure out what Beto was thinking when she showed it to us. Okay, this time I'm spinning the chessboard around. The witches keep calling me incompetent. Let them laugh. They aren't my enemies. I'm continuing our match, Beto.
They're laughing at him. So clarify.
I noticed.
Oh shit!
Oh!
Storm boys! It's a tropical typhoon!
I feel like that's a tautology.
Oh, looks like it's finally started raining. Dang, wish the only downpour was the one inside my heart. What? The people in the parlor noticed the raindrops.
Today on rudolph.tumblr.com.
That was an amazing line. Look, I love that line. I am using that. The people in the parlor noticed the raindrops that was starting to drip down the window. Now we have nowhere to run until the family conference ends.
Same thing goes for Nissan. I won't let them escape, you can be sure of that. The cards we're holding aren't bad. Nissan's just bluffing. I'll make certain he surrenders.
Well, there's more to a deal than making your opponent lose. You gotta get a pitfall ready, praise them a bit, and convince them to stand on it of their own accord.
I swear just about every time they like hear you laugh out of context, it's me doing the like drum fill thing with my hands.
Yeah, which no one will ever get to see, except for me. I'm special. Hideyoshi sounds right. We pressed him a bit too hard last time, even nay-san.
That was perfectly reasonable considering it's Nissan we're dealing with.
Yeah, looks like Rose has fallen asleep. Ah, she was complaining about how early she woke up this morning. Well, guess there's nothing wrong with taking a nap. There's a chance we might be forced to spend all night on this. Getting a nap in now is probably a smart idea. Out of consideration for Rosa, who'd fallen asleep on a sofa, the others quietly left the parlor.
How kind of them, unlike every game thus far.
They're such nice people. Unaware of this, Rosa slept. I mean, this is what happened in EP1, if you remember. After telling Maria to just stay where she was after that tantrum over not being able to find her Rose. Rosa slept, unaware that the rain had started to fall. More Rose shenanigans. The rain poured down as though it had been saving up for this moment. Of course, Maria noticed that the rain had started falling and was soaking her to the bone. However, that just made her even more stubborn. Unable to find the poor, slightly unhealthy Rose that she herself had marked, she just couldn't stand having that search be interrupted by something like the rain. So the more the rain fell on Maria, the more stubborn she grew, as she wandered through the rose beds. And as she did, from behind Maria's back came a patter-patter, the sound of approaching footsteps. Then, the footsteps landed in a puddle, making a small splashing sound, and Maria finally heard. However, even the slight distraction of that sound irritated her, and Maria ignored it. Hello. Maria turned around, bewildered. After all, that voice was one she didn't recognize at all.
It's almost like it's not gonna be Beatrice and they were trying to surprise me.
On this sealed offer Kenjima, that voice belonged to no person she knew. You are not alone. Is that recorded?
It'll be cropped out, but it is, there is...
Achievement unlocked, you are not alone.
Yeah. It's actually pretty nice. The Steam...
It's right in the black part of the...
It is exactly in the border that we cut out.
It's perfect. Almost too perfect.
I almost feel like Valve did it on purpose. Making...
Or Mega Gamer. Well, whoever's responsible.
It'd be Steam that...
Oh. I guess, of course it would be, because they have to do the
Because it's like exactly the size that switches 4.3 to 16.9. I feel like it was probably intentional.
Probably. Kraus-sama, madam, I was looking for you. Something important has come up. Kraus and Natsu had been privately discussing what should be done next in a deserted corridor on the 3rd floor. Kenshi had searched everywhere for them.
I swear my concept of how many floors are on this building keeps changing every episode.
It's three. I'm sure
but
of it.
Isn't like it's like 3 and then Kinzo's is 1 above? Or is it like...
Kinzo's is like part of the 2nd floor, I think.
I don't know, because he's just like right on top,
honestly,
right?
I don't know. I'm sure I've had this conversation with someone where we were like, let's make a map of the Ashumi Mansion. It's just like a bunch of blank space.
I thought it was 2 floors with Kinzo's being the 3rd, but now
no.
Is it 3 floors with Kinzo's the 4th?
No, well, his is part of the 3rd or 2nd floor. One of those.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a separate floor. His room isn't like upstairs to a 2nd floor.
I thought it was. I thought it was like right on top.
It's definitely not. That is definitely not how it is. I'm sure of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to ask someone to make a map for me.
I'm pretty sure that they reference how it works in episode 3, so I should go back and check that.
We should check it. Anyway, Genji had searched everywhere for them.
What is it? It must be something more urgent than a few sheets getting soaked in the rain.
What is it? Has some sort of blunder been made?
You know, that hadn't actually occurred to me until right now. Who does the laundry on this island? We haven't seen any laundry scenes. That's what's been missing.
We need to know these things about these characters. A short while ago, someone arrived at the mansion, claiming to have drifted here after an accident at sea. Kraus and Natsu couldn't help but go wide-eyed and stare at each other. This was the first time they'd ever heard of someone coming to this island uninvited. Someone drifted here? Is that true? The poor thing. Treat this person politely, like a guest. What are they doing now? Dr. Nanjo is performing an examination. He hadn't finished yet, but from what I could tell by looking, the drifter seemed tired but uninjured. Thank goodness.
Natsui and I are having an important conversation right now. When it's over, we'll go to check on this person. Please tell this drifter that we want them to feel at home.
Certainly. When Genji bowed deeply and started to leave, Natsui called him to a stop. Genji stopped walking and Natsui jogged up to him. Genji, is this drifter a man? No. She is a young woman about the same age as Milady. A woman? I see. Very well. Back to your work. The parlor of the mansion was bustling. The adults gathered, worrying about the health of this sudden guest. Well, if she was able to walk all the way here to the rules gone by herself, her life probably isn't in danger.
Never mind the rest of the fucking ship she was on.
It always helps me prepared. It's probably all thanks to the life jacket. Without that, she might have drowned. Ooh.
What kind of girl was she? Older or younger than George or Jessica?
She was younger than Jessica. She wore a life jacket and swimsuit. It looked like she was all tired out.
She washed up somewhere near the harbor. That must have been a rare bit of luck amid disaster. Would have been terrible if she'd landed on the opposite side of the island.
Still, you have to feel sorry for her. With this weather, the boats won't be coming. I imagine she'll also be stuck on this island all day tomorrow. At that moment, the door clunked open and everyone looked in that direction. Would anyone like some tea?
Oh, I gotta switch back on the oxygen tank over here.
It was Goda and Cannon, with the latter pushing a serving cart laden with a tea set. Goda understood well that doing a little extra at times like this would earn him points. The relatives, hungry for information, crowded around Goda. He ordered Cannon to serve the tea and became the sole object of the relatives' attention.
You know, I just realized the only servant I haven't pinned a magical character on is Goda. And I'm just gonna say Goda is Garp for the sake of my own entertainment.
Sure. I would be okay with that.
Just for the sake of my own entertainment.
I would be on board. Poor guy. Golda-san, how's that kid doing? Does it look like she's okay? Well, I don't know about that, but there's no need to worry. Dr. Nanjo is giving his full attention to taking care of her, and Kumasawa and Shannon are with him. Please have no fears. Why not relax with some black tea for now? Come, Ganon-san, quickly, serve it. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Cannon knew this tea was just Goda's way of earning points, so he lined up the cups with a slightly sullen air. Ooh, I'll help too. It's okay. You can just wait there, Maria-sama. Ew, I want to serve tea too.
Didn't you talk with Dr. Nanjo? Did he say anything?
Yes! When I met him a short while ago, he said that there weren't any serious external wounds, from what I could tell at a glance. And just as Goda had successfully captured the gazes of all present and was about to start talking knowledgeably on the subject, Nanjo returned. Of course, Nanjo instantly became the center of attention, and Captain turned his back on Goda, who seemed downhearted. Poor guy.
Dr. Nanjo, how is her condition? Does it look like she'll be okay?
Not to worry, everyone. She is fine. She had no injuries at all. She seems to be quite worn out, but there shouldn't be anything to worry about tonight, as long as she doesn't develop a fever.
That's good to hear. We're lucky to have a doctor, but this is no hospital.
Everyone was relieved to hear that the girl was in good health. When Nanjo gave the more detailed result of the examination, concluding by saying that she was young and should therefore be fine, everyone who no longer fell into this description nodded in assent. Ew, birds really are scary. Fall! Battler was right. Maria-chan, let's not tell Battler-kun about this. Oh, Madame Cross-sama! Goda, who had lost his nerve and was handing out cups, called out in an excessively loud voice. Not like usual at all. Apparently, he was that desperate to get everyone's attention.
How is the guest?
Yes, sir! Her condition is not serious! I see, that's great. Where is she now? I believe Kumasawa-san and Shannon-san were guiding her to the bath. They said they would get her some clothes afterwards.
In that case, they'll probably arrive here soon. It's no wonder she looks so fucking ridiculous. Dressed in rich people clothes.
Damn straight.
Everyone, this may be the day of the family conference, but we have a guest brought here by an unfortunate accident. She wasn't invited, but I want you to all welcome her.
Who could disagree with that? I'm all for it. Same here. Dear Momo's tales have been nice to girls. Maybe, but you did need to make that your life's motto. Oh!
It's probably best if we call George and the rest over here too. Let's all greet her together. But wouldn't that just make her more uncomfortable?
Ava stood up and made a phone call to the guest house. At that moment, they heard the sound of a knock, followed by Genji's voice. It is Genji. The guest has arrived. At those words, everyone fell silent, and the people who had been sitting stood up straight. Here we go. Genji came in first, opening the door slowly, then moved off to the side, bowing deeply and urging the guests forwards. Yo, what up? The guests had Shannon and Kumasawa following by her side, and even after seeing the large number of relatives waiting for her in the parlor, she didn't seem overawed in the slightest. Just this single point showed that this girl possessed a dignity appropriate for a guest invited in by the Ashumiya family. Furudo-sama, allow me to introduce you. This is the representative of the Ashumiya family head, Ashumiya Kraus.
Welcome to Rikkenjima. Though you arrived due to an accident, you are a guest of the family. We welcome you. Please make yourself at home and relax however you please.
Thank you very much. Allow me to introduce myself. I am called Furudo Erika.
Okay.
You tip?
Now she's filling the gap.
Furudo Erika fell from the pleasure boat, Eternal Maid 2, mid-cruise in the waters near Rikkenjima. On October 4th, 1986, she drifted to Rikkenjima and the Ashumiya family welcomed her as a guest. She managed to drift to the island unharmed thanks to several miracles, including the fact that she was wearing a life jacket.
I really don't like the attempt at the, texture on her stockings.
Nah, it's great.
It looks so sketchy.
It's amazing.
That's better.
It's a little bit better. Yeah. I like it though. I'm a fan of her little formal dress thing. I love the roses and the hair.
I do wonder if this is fashion she would have worn, or if this is just the best she could find amongst the shithouse of the Ashumiya family. I
mean, have we... Well, we'll find out in a second. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is based off of real life Japanese fashion trends, apparently. There's a specific dress this is modeled after. My deepest apologies for disturbing you members of the Ashumiya family like this. I'm truly grateful for the warm welcome I received, despite my status as an uninvited guest. This was greeted by an impressed sigh arising equally from all corners of the room. The clothes she had been lent were probably Jessica's formal wear from long ago, but the composure of her introduction didn't shame those clothes in the slightest. The girl's name was Furudo Erika. She looked slightly younger than Battler and Jessica.
Now, remind me, that means that we're calling her Erika because they do the names backwards?
She's Erika, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Erika.
Uh-huh.
A beautiful name.
Now, yeah, I'd read about Jolly Erika in a tiny bit of research I did before I...
Oh no! What did you read?
I literally it was just Furudo Erika, character from later on in Umineko, and there was an image and caption.
And then you closed it immediately, I hope.
No.
No!
I didn't.
Why not?
Because I wasn't planning on reading it at the time.
You fool. Well, I hope you weren't too badly spoiled.
No, even if I was spoiled on some stuff, I don't remember most of it. But if we do come across something and I'm I know this.
It's okay. She's good fun. She's a good character. Let's go. But her composure and mannerisms were beyond what anyone would have expected from a high schooler, almost as though she was a well-to-do family's daughter. There we go.
Wait a sec. Who the heck is this?
This looks familiar. With an incompetent like you as the main character piece, the game wouldn't go anywhere. That's why I placed myself there as a piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what up? What?
This is just too easy.
It's just too easy.
It's just too easy.
Clearly.
It's just a bit of a bonus. Even in a closed circle, it'd get boring to see the same crew every single time, right?
Messing around. This piece doesn't exist on Beato's game board. Beato and I won't acknowledge it.
This is Beato's game board, right? If Beato refuses, then I'll consider it. What do you say, Beato?
That's just rude.
Yeah. Beato was unable to answer. Lambda Delta grinned triumphantly.
Want to try complaining about the rules and stepping down from the game? Isn't that a favorite move of you mystery people? If there's even a tiny element that goes against your expectations, you throw a little tantrum and totally stop thinking.
Don't worry. I'll make a detective proclamation regarding this piece.
Detective proclamation?
Yeah, this is fun. I proclaim that Furudo Erika is a detective.
Yay! way!
There she is, boys.
Atlas Watson!
The detective isn't a culprit. No proof is needed to show this. In short, there's absolutely no need to suspect this girl. Even if she appears as a human piece from now on, you can build theories the same as you always did. Get it?
That's Nox's 7th, right? It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. There's an exception clause in the original, but for this game, the detective isn't a culprit has been proclaimed in red, so you don't need to consider the exception.
What was the exception clause in the original?
I don't know, actually. I'd have to look it up.
I hate word games, so I'll say this in red too. Furuta Erika is not the culprit.
Nice.
Repeat it. Furuta Erika has no influence on any of the Beto's game boards before now.
Sure, no problem. Furuta Erika has had no influence on any of Beto's game boards before now. She's nothing more than an extra character who appears for the first time this round. She does not exist in the worlds before this one, nor does she influence them.
That's a fun one.
So what does that do to the number of people on the island right now?
Of course, it's 1 plus 1 from the previous number, but don't worry. Furuta Erika only increases it by 1 person.
There you go.
Besides her, the number of people on this island is exactly the same as it was in previous games.
But Ben, if there's no more than 17 people and there are 17 people because Kinzo's dead, that means Erika's an 18th person. Oh no! What could we possibly do to resolve this, Ben?
I don't know. I think maybe we should be paying attention to this scene. At that time, the sound of people dashing down a corridor could be heard. It was Battler, George, and Jessica who had come from the guest house after being called here by Ava. They immediately spotted a guest they didn't recognize and their eyes went wide. You've stopped. Have you noticed?
I have noticed, Ben.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I will let the scene play out before I comment on anything, but you know exactly what's wrong.
Yeah, I do. I want to see how you deal with this.
I am very confident in how I'm gonna deal with this.
Sure.
I am fucking on this one.
Okay. Ew! Did you even say that line?
No, I didn't.
Who was it? Was it
I don't
Jessica?
know.
I assume it was Jessica? I don't know.
I'd rather say it as Jessica anyway. Whoa! Who are you?
Ooh, I guess she came by falling.
Huh? Fall?
Kenji-san, who is this person? This is a guest, Furuta Erika-sama. Furuta-sama, this is the daughter of the family, Jessica-sama, along with her cousins George-sama and Battler-sama.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ashurumia Jessica.
Hello. My name is Furuta Erika. I am very pleased to meet you. Though Battler, George, and Jessica didn't have a clue what was going on and were utterly bewildered, they each introduced themselves. Isn't that convenient? This way, the number of people is clear. The people in the guest house have joined up with the rest, and now, all of the pieces except for Kinzo, all of the humans, have gathered in the parlor.
Looks like it. In other words, the number of people in this parlor is now equal to the total number of people on this island.
I'm not even stressed.
You're not even stressed?
No.
Sure,
you know what it is? You want to know what it is?
What?
Battler's a fucking accomplice.
Okay.
That's how this is happening.
Sure. Okay. I have to need more reasoning than that, but good luck.
Fuck it.
Why does him being an accomplice help affect your theory? Do you want to explain what the problem is now? Because I want you to say
Because Shannon and Cannon are in the same room.
They absolutely are.
And Battler is also in the same room,
They absolutely
supposedly witnessing it.
And the detective is.
Yes.
So how the fuck are you gonna...
The detective one is difficult.
Yes.
The detective one is difficult, but I'm not concerned about Battler being there because Battler's going to be an accomplice.
Sure.
The other thing is just because we've, like, so far, Erika has interacted with only Shannon. Battler hasn't interacted with either of them.
Okay.
So, and we also haven't been told a full list of people, which I'm assuming might just happen in a second.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see. But yeah, this is definitely, there was a very popular, Canon, Shannon, Beatrice theory, and this episode throws it up in the air completely because of that.
I'm not even stressed.
So I'm absolutely down for you to try and argue it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Because you know what that'd also mean? Is that if my suggestion that Battler was on the phone was correct, and he's an accomplice to this episode, that'd just fit so nicely.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're still early days. There's a bit Battler.
Yeah. There's supposedly 18 people on the island, but since Grandfather's actually dead, that became 17, and now one piece of burned castles has been added. Number of humans on this island has returned to 18. I glanced around at the humans in the parlor. The guest, Furuta Erika. And behind her, Kumasawa-san and Shannon-chan. Off to the side was Genji-san. I told you we were gonna get it.
Yeah, here we go.
Uncle Krasuna and Natsuki were welcoming the guest.
Yeah.
Yoda-san immediately started showing off, and Kaneki was being unsociable, wearing his usual blank expression. There's Dad and Kyrie-san, Aunt Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi, Aunt Rosa and Maria, and Dr. Nanjo. And on either side of me were George and Iki and Jessica. This is everyone. The true number of people on the island at the moment.
Well, all of us are Ashumias. Please don't feel obligated to call us by our family name. I'm George.
I'm Battler. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, George-san, Battler-san. I'd be pleased if you would call me Erica.
Nice to meet you, Erica-san. It was decided that Erica would be welcomed like a guest and allowed to borrow the bedroom next to the cousin room on the second floor of the guest house. In front of all of the relatives, she'd seemed dignified and a bit stiff. However, she talked with George and Jessica, her expression began to soften gradually, but fuck Battler. And so, the detective, Fruto Erica, was placed on the game board. I'm not even stressed, boy.
So you think, what exactly is your reasoning there? That
So,
Battler is
the thing is,
an accomplice?
I am, as I was very prepared to do at the end of episode 4,
Yep.
I'm very prepared to just flip the table and accept that I was wrong for all of episodes 1 to 4.
Sure.
But I'm going to try and make it work for as long as I can.
Sure. Because it sounds like you're stretching things.
And establishing the rules of how this has worked so far have kept me alright. Which
Yeah.
is that everything that Battler sees is okay and can be accepted as truth. And we've had some stretches like the end of episode 2, which you can either explain by that he'd given up or that he was drunk.
Sure.
And then everything else seems to have fit with like my understanding of the unreliable narrator. Now we get to this point and Battler just straight up sees the two people I assume he hasn't seen together in the same room at one time.
Yeah.
And I've been told that was a common theory until now. I am, as I said, fully prepared to flip the table, but I'm going to keep it going for as long as I can. And that is the only way I can explain that.
Cool. That's the slip through the rules, right?
That is the only way I can explain that.
Cool.
Plus, I've been hyping on Battler becoming an accomplice and/or culprit for so long. I'm so ready for it to happen.
This is his chance.
I'm so ready for it to happen.
Alright, well, let's see what happens. I'm surprised Jessica's old clothes suit her so well. Umasawa made the decision on her own to use Milady's old clothes. Please forgive her. The clothes Erica wore were Jessica's old formal attire.
I did not want to see Jessica in those clothes. It would not suit.
It would not work for our Russian Jessica at all.
It would not.
It's not rough enough. Though the guest possessed a dignity that would put most adults to shame, her body was still physically similar to a middle schooler's. Jessica's old clothes fit her perfectly. Not to worry, they match this guest perfectly. If she likes them, we might even let her keep them as a sign of friendship. Certainly. Thank you very much. Have you contacted the police and her family? Yes, they seem to have been quite distressed. By the way, our guest really was involved in an accident, right?
Actually, I want to look at that.
What do you want to look at?
So she fell from the boat.
She fell from a boat. They've contacted her family.
Because my immediate assumption was that as a young girl, she was with her family on the boat. And if...
It is a pleasure boat. I don't know what that means.
what that means.
I don't know what that means. I'm concerned, though.
Because it's a middle school age girl, I'm just
sure
going to
it's
assume
fine.
it's just like a...
Well, physically, she looks like a middle school age girl. I don't actually know how old she is, but yeah.
I want to say that it's just a interesting word choice on a not work boat.
Yep.
Just for the sake of not having to worry about that idea.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
But I'm very interested by the fact that they were able to contact her family, because I would have thought that it would have been like the boat crashed or something.
No, she apparently just fell off the boat.
Yeah, and then they've somehow gotten to somewhere that she can be phoned.
I don't know. It's a great question.
I feel like because it's Burns' piece, I really shouldn't worry about this too much.
I mean, it's even said that she made it there thanks to several miracles. Like, this is Burn fucking with things.
Yeah, this is like, I don't want to read into it too much, but there's definitely some dodgy stuff in how this is executed.
Up to you. She herself said she fell from a boat as it was returning to port. Is there anything to back up that claim? I checked with the Coast Guard. It seems she fell from the rear of a pleasure boat, unnoticed by the others on board. We don't know the exact location she fell from, but it was probably somewhere near this island. It was foolish to play on a boat with such a bad weather forecast. However, is it really conceivable that you nearly drowned in the nearby waters and drifted to this island? Even Nazi is like, this is sketchy shit. It is not possible. Tales of... Impossible even. Tales of drifters washing ashore exist in several of the islands around this area. Concern. I believe it likely that an accident occurred. We're in the middle of a typhoon. It would not be possible to land a boat anywhere on this island. Genji had already considered what she now suspected. Natsu probably suspected this mysterious guest who had arrived during the already high-stress family conference might be the agent of some conspiracy. So Genji had already checked to make sure that the accident was real, that Furuta Erika was her real name, and that there was nothing suspicious going on. I understand. My husband has ordered that she be politely entertained. Make sure that there are no blunders. However, you do understand, don't you? Yes. I won't let her anywhere near the family conference. After dinner, I will see that she retires to the guest house. Make sure they don't start trying to force us to let her meet father or anything like that. Of course. I will keep that in mind. Oh. Furuta Erika, was it? It's rare for guests to come here to Rokenjima. Doesn't this look like it'll be interesting? She's probably Lady Bancaster's piece. Thus she'll follow the rules of humans. The player's a witch. We mustn't underestimate her. There is no problem. Even if she were Lady Bancaster herself, and she's a human, she's no match for us. After all, we have Garp with us. Humans certainly cannot win against Garp.
Thanks. Still, it's not a good idea to overestimate yourself. Definition of a witch doesn't only imply the ability to use magic.
True. A joker in the eye of a typhoon. That is what a witch is. I'm the only one who gets to call herself a witch on this Rokenjima. Only I, the golden witch and endless witch, Beatrice. Let's see how good Lady Bancastle's next piece after Angie is. I intend to watch very closely.
So, we have a meta Beatrice on the game board, but also dead Beatrice in the meta space?
And this Beatrice seems to remember the last game. It's a bit weird.
What a mess.
What are always Beatrices?
What a mess.
Too many of them.